Excuse me. So my mouth is so dry and I drank so much water. It's like I can't wait till I get this water that I ordered from Amazon because it has electrolytes in it and things like that. Because I learned from, I forgot his name, but he was, oh my god, I gotta find out his name. I think his name is Yusuf. Yeah, but anyways, he was talking about like sometimes it doesn't matter what water you drink. If it lacks like electrolytes and it's not like good water, you're defeating the purpose. You're still gonna be dehydrated. So I got like this good water off of Amazon with the aluminum bottles, and it's purified and has electrolytes in it, and has good reviews and stuff like that. So we'll see. I'm waiting for it to get shipped. It's kind of hard to find good water that's good for you in the grocery stores. Um, Especially now that they realized and found out that a lot of Gatorade and Powerade has vegetable oils in it and dyes. So you have to be very careful with that. But anyways, I just wanted to make a quick video discussing a topic real quick. I watched this listen, all due respect to Judge Brown, but he just really needs to like be careful about how he addresses certain topics. I get it, he's a strong, opinionated man. I don't know too much about his background. And I'm not saying what he's saying is wrong, but I'm not saying what he's saying is right. He was talking about like how like my generation, a little bit of my generation before me, are just like people in general, like that. A lot of us are on drugs. A lot of young women get pregnant young, get pregnant back to back. What else? Just basically bashing people like really, really bad. And I said, listen, I'm not gonna sit here and listen to him bash people like that, black people like that, because first of all, yes, there's a lot of things that need to be addressed and fixed and stuff like that. But it's not what he said, it's how he said it, because it wasn't coming from a place of like understanding. You know what I mean? Like, because I've been in the trenches. I seen people get shot. Like I seen a lot. You know what I'm saying? I've been through a lot. I seen people, that were brought up in the homes where their parents were drug addicts. Okay. I know how it is to be a young mother. I've been violated. You don't understand. You don't really, if you don't really know how they end up in that situation, don't speak on that situation like that. You know what I'm trying to say? So people would bash me like you're part of the problem. No, 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 not part of the problem. I'm actually trying to be the solution to the problem because I suffered from trauma myself. You don't know how these kids and these young adults and adults my age got to this point. Some people grew up in father's homes, mother's homes, grew up with narcissistic parents, verbally abusive parents, physically abusive parents, or just parents that just checked out. And also, um, some kids grew up in certain environments where it was hard for them to grow up out of a certain type of lifestyle. Okay, I'm not making excuses. I'm just stating certain things that are factual here. Okay, you adapt to what you know. Okay, and another thing, um, a lot of men don't know how to respect women, and a lot of women don't know how to set boundaries and be cautious and aware because they didn't have a positive male role model in their life to teach them that. They didn't have a positive female role model in their life to teach them about that. Sometimes things happen out of their control. So sorry, someone's calling me. Um, there's so many reasons. Okay, there's so many reasons, but studies. Okay, so wait, hold on. Before I say this part, let's go back into time. Let's go back into time around when the Jim Crow law happened, and then um, after the Jim Crow, after people, after my enslaved, our enslaved ancestors got out of slavery, they 10 years later, within a 10 year time span, they built Black Wall Street, and the system, the oppressor, shut it all down, took their money, um, shut down their banks, their black owned banks, shut down their businesses, destroy their businesses. Let's talk about that. Then they ended up taking them out of the nice areas, putting them in the, forced them to go into these urban, um, secluded projects, okay, that they created for them, and infested their environment with, rodents, um, insects, and then that's when they imported the drugs. Okay, let's talk about that. Um, what else did they do? They imported the drugs. That's how the whole drug activity came about. Oh, they wasn't giving black people jobs. Okay, a lot of them. Oh yeah, let's talk about the welfare era. A lot of women and men were uneducated. Women and black men were educated. I have to be specific so we can address this issue here. Due to the fact that even though they were allowed to go to segregated schools, the teachers purposely were not educating them well enough for them to excel. It was all part of the system. Let's talk about that. So, in the mothers were. I talked about this before, but the mothers had to try to make ends meet because they had lack of skills due to the fact that they came out of slavery, and they're trying to raise their kids to the best way they can, and some of them were still working on the fields after all this, and they weren't getting paid enough. Their fathers weren't allowed to be in the home because if they were in the home, they weren't able to get access to welfare. Um, and then a lot of the fathers had to purposely leave the home to serve in not just the Civil War, but also work in these factories with these deadly machines, and get paid like zero to nothing. Like, I mean, little to nothing. Slaving and slaving and slaving and slaving and slaving. Then what else did they do? The projects. Oh yeah. Then the police brutality happened. The black on black crimes Oh yeah, the gang happened to protect their community, to protect their families, and so many things. The black crime. We already know how the black on black crime started with the whole Willie Lynch thing, but people had to do what they had to do to survive. Doesn't make it right that we came against each other and we did all these crazy crimes. A lot of people ended up getting arrested for things that they didn't commit. Okay, to this day, there's a lot of there's a lot of black men that try their best and the black women that try their best to make ends meet and try to do right in this community, and they were given equal opportunities. This happens to me as well to this day. Okay, so let's talk about that. And you know what? Scientists and studies have shown that trauma can be passed down from your ancestors to generations to generations to generations. So I don't know if like Judge Brown grew up in the trenches. I don't know if he grew up without his parents. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If he did, and he was in an environment where he was able to get access to better opportunities or whatever the case may be, that's good. You know what I'm saying? Some people are limited to resources and opportunities. We have to understand that. But yes, we do need to fix these problems in order to excel in life. But at least say it from a good, coming heart like, and try to have some empathy for the ones who are being brainwashed right now, and that's trapped in this web. Is not always 100% their fault. A lot of these kids that and people that are in this situation that is gang banging and stuff like that. Sometimes they don't even realize that how hindering it can be. So a lot of them don't even want to be in that situation. It's like they feel like some of them feel like, oh, they're not black enough if they do it. You know what I'm saying? If you're not doing the same thing everyone else is doing in the hood, you're not black enough. Like, or it's just like it's a really big, huge generational curse. It's really sad. It was forced upon us. That's what I'm trying. That's the point I'm trying to make. Okay, it was out of our control, and then we took it to a whole nother level. Okay, so I experienced all aspects of life, and I'm grateful for that. I'm not ashamed of that. Okay, um, so and I had to go to court for that situation about this girl that got popped in front of my face because her man was trying to shoot. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to say certain words. Her man was trying to pop my man because he thought that he was trying to get with his girl, and it wasn't the case. He just asked her for a cigarette, and he made a big deal about it. He accidentally ended up popping his own girl on accident in the back of the head, and thankfully, everyone else was fine, but unfortunately, she's beautiful. She was a beautiful, gorgeous black woman, and she lost her life. She was instigating the whole thing, and that's why I do believe what goes around comes around type thing. So we gotta be careful how we do things, how we treat each other. All that comes in hand. But I just wanted to, bring some awareness. It's like we have to really think about these things and try to get down to the root of the problem. Maybe if they had more resources and they had people that are ex gang members or whatever, someone that's on their level that got out of that situation to talk about this topic to kind of like get them out of this kind of like web type of situation. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, that would be impactful because I noticed that there has been people like that had tried to mentor young kids, like, don't do the same things I did, learn from me. I used to be in the gang, I used to be in the trenches, I used to be da da da. That we need more of that, I'm trying to say that's a positive type of movement right there. So for other people that never experienced that to speak on that type of situation, even if they are black, I don't I don't I don't respect that. I always try to understand how a person got to the situation they are in. And if you really took the time to have a conversation with someone that's in a lower predicament in a situation than you, you will probably bog your eyes out while they're just like so used to it. They're numb while they're telling the story. Like, they're so used to it. Um, It's unfortunate, but that's reality. A lot of people are out of touch with reality because unfortunately they don't live in that type of environment. They're not exposed to that environment. They just see and believe what they see on TV type thing. So, if you put yourself in their shoes, then you will try to find a way to reach out. And yes, there is some black people in that situation that will try to take advantage. They'll try to manipulate you, use you for money, rob you, whatever. But you just have to be precautious. That's why we need to set up these like buildings and resources. If I could do it myself, I most definitely would. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm trying to fix the issue with me. You know, and educate myself and get my degree and excel and do well and raise my son right so I can help the problems to reduce the issues and try to get to the point where we can like really fix all the issues if they're willing to, because you could bring the horse to the water but you can't make it drink. Some people are just so stubborn and stuck in their ways, they do not want to change. It has to be some type of motivation and spark and ambition inside you, and the willingness to want to do better for not only yourself but for your children or whoever. Yeah, but for yourself is the best way to do it, anyways. But thank you. I hope that brings awareness to people instead of looking down on a lot of black people in this world that's making these silly decisions. Try to have a better understanding. You know. Thank you.